Have you ever wondered why South Africa is still so segregated? Why everybody is still apart? Why we haven't come together properly as a country yet? The only time that we've seen ourselves actually come together as a country is when we've won the Rugby World Cup and that sort of thing. Or we've done well in the cricket. Or sports tends to bring people together. So come into the office, guys, and let's go and have a look at why South Africa is still so segregated. What I see is it's very much the old generation which is forcing down their points of view onto the younger generation through time. What I've seen is that the younger generation is actually just as radical as the older generation was with regards to the segregation, their beliefs, and that sort of thing. We just had an election. The election was very controversial because the election in South Africa showed that nobody's really happy with what's going on. There's no clear majority anymore. But what I did notice is the anger in the comments when people were talking about their political parties and who's voting for what. And there was a lot of segregation. Now, my big concern is it's getting worse, and it's getting to the point where it's becoming ethnic. So it's no longer just a color barrier, it's now an ethnic barrier, or a culture barrier of groups, smaller groups. And the smaller the groups get, the worse the situation becomes and the more split up the country becomes. And we're not standing together as South Africans, we're standing together as ethnic groups in little corners of the country. And this is being brought on by the older generation forcing down their views onto the younger generation. Just my point of view, it's not facts. But if I think about it, I have to look at it in reality. And where would young kids my daughter was born in the democracy of 94. How would she know anything about what group or any ethnic groups or anything to that effect? And the only way she would know about it is because it comes from the outside and it comes down from government officials, from parents, from older people, forcing BEE and BEEEE and double BEE onto people. Saying to people, you can't go and work in a certain company or you can't go and do a certain job because you're not the right color or you're not the right ethnic group. You are not allowed to do certain things, or you're not allowed to live in certain places, or you don't want to live in certain places because you don't fit in to that ethnic group because for fear of your life you won't live in that area, for example. So I've seen a lot of xenophobia where people don't like immigrants in our country now. If people come from other countries in Africa and they come to live here, they start beating them up, they start trashing their shops or their informal shops, let's say, or whatever the case, and getting angry with them for being in our country. Why are you angry with people? Shouldn't people have the right to live just about anywhere in the world? Why are you being angry with them for living in your country? Why don't you invite them in? Why aren't you generous and invite them in? We've been touted around the world as some of the nicest people in the world, and they come to South Africa, they say we're the friendliest people, we're the nicest people. Yet among each other we have this evil sort of underlying problem which doesn't seem to go away, and it really needs to go away.
Watch out for our casual unlimited collection at Twentythree Merchandise. We supply a range of fashionable clothing made to fit all. Simply look for the merchandise link in the description to order your favorite product today. This is a product from Logical Trading and Twentythree Merchandise.
We need to find a middle ground. We need to find a place in the middle where it's a multi-racial, multi-ethnic country, and we're all South Africans, not people of certain race, colors, ethnic groups, or whatever the case. And that seems to be quite difficult. When I look at the voting, I see certain groups or ethnic groups voting for certain parties, and that includes the governing party. And I see the separation on the sides, and there's very little in the middle. There's very little integration. There's the parties that are in the middle, the parties that believe in the multiracial South Africa and we all stand as one. Those are getting very little votes and very little success. So I see the problem with segregation in South Africa as a problem that's going to take a long time to go away, because the people that are seated in the jobs that run the country, not voted in, just seated in those jobs that run the country, are also very segregated in their minds, and they can't seem to get around this issue of finding a way to make this a great country. Because you know how great South Africa would be if we were a multiracial country that could work together, that wasn't so segregated in the underlying situation, so that everyone has got a fair opportunity when they go and apply for a job. Everyone's got a fair opportunity when they apply for a school. Everyone's got a fair opportunity when they want to go and live somewhere. Everyone's got a fair opportunity in every situation when they go and play sport, whatever the case, whichever sport, whichever situation. Everyone should have the fair opportunity based on their skills and abilities to have those positions in this country. And then we could grow our economy, we could grow our businesses, and we could stand together against everyone else in the world and say, we are a great country, look at us, we're the Rainbow Nation. We were supposed to be the Rainbow Nation. The great Dr. Mandela said that we would be the Rainbow Nation. I can tell you guys right now that he's turning in his grave. He's really upset. There's no way he would be happy with the way this country is standing at the moment. So guys, just my rant for today, a bit controversial, but really guys, I'm really hoping that one day we'll be that great Rainbow Nation. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to watch the last video. Till next time guys, cheers and bye.